minute. Okay, put it down there and get out. I said get out. My wife's coming over. She can pour coffee. Out! Out! All right. I make pictures my way. My way. Don't get chintzy with me. I want that money up. My heart bleeds for you, sweetheart. Remember, it's your old pal Sam who's keeping you out of the gas chamber. And I can sit you right down in it any time I want to. Yeah. Remember that when you're writing a check.
Some people come to Las Vegas for the desert air and the sunshine. Others come to make a killing. Well, I didn't have any excuse at all except for my yearly pilgrimage, and it was coming to an end in a dead heat with my bankroll. The last 2 bits, the old high roller go for broke diamond. Make that gone for broke diamond.
Looking for a 9. 29.
I'd like to report a robbery.
What?
I was robbed. That one-armed bandit over there.
Oh, there's a call for you, Mr. Diamond. Los Angeles operator, 314.
Can I take it in?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, this is Richard Diamond. Yeah, I'll talk to you. Norma? Sure, Norma Randall.
Yeah, Central Park at daybreak. You slapped my face, I remember.
Hey, you were sent there on a personal appearance tour. I was supposed to guard your jewelry. Sure. How'd you find me here?
From your exchange in New York. Look, Rick, I'm in desperate trouble. I need you here right away. I made a reservation on a plane leaving Vegas in 45 minutes. Please be on it. I'll have someone meet you at the Inglewood Airport.
Hold on, Norma. I'm on sort of a vacation. I'll admit I'm not breaking the bank, but it's a nice place to be on the bum.
Rick, I haven't got time to plead with you. Please be here. I'll pay you $10,000.
$10,000? Well, all right, honey. You've just set the cause of freedom back 50 years, but I'll be on the plane when it lands in Inglewood. Yeah, thank you. Don't forget the robbery. It was a short hop from Vegas to L.A.
Flight 201, now arriving at 8:15. Flight 201 from Las Vegas at 8:15.
I had passed the time catching up on my reading. All the front pages and the movie columns. If Norma Randall was in $10,000 worth of trouble, she'd managed to keep it a secret. Not a word about her. Maybe that was her trouble. The man who met me said his name was Jimmy Logan. The chauffeur was Roger. I was getting the VIP treatment all the way. They'd certainly rolled out the red carpet for Diamond. I remember driving to the garage of a swank Westwood apartment house. And I remember getting out of the car, but that was all.
Listen, Diamond. Go back to New York. Travel. Take a freighter and see the world. Stay out of this. Don't hang around Hollywood.
Who can stand to?
Good boy.
An old Southern California hospitality. Nothing like it. Absolutely nothing. Well, anyway, I knew that the 2 guys that worked me over didn't want me to get to the studio. But I had other plans. I picked up a cab outside the garage. He drove me to Sam Horton's picture factory in no time. Samuel Horton Studios. the lot with the least. Pardon me, is the reception desk in there? Closed. Well, my name's Richard Diamond. Norma Randall's expecting me. She said she'd be in her dressing room.
Miss Randall isn't on the lot.
I suppose she hasn't been in all day.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I have a bulletin for you, buddy. I spoke to her on the phone long distance. Call came through the studio switchboard. Now, if you'll just let me see it.
You better move along, Mr. Loitering's not permitted around here.
Norma Randall is expecting me. All I want you to do is get her on the phone, okay? Here's my credentials.
New York private dick.
That's right.
Well, this won't open any doors around here for you, so you might as well move on. A New York private investigator named Diamond was just here at the front entrance asking for Miss Randall. I sent him away.
Armed guards, high walls, and barbed wire. It's some entertainment factory. It was more like a concentration camp. All it would take to get in here would be a Sherman tank. How are chances of getting in to see Norma Randall?
Move along, buddy. There's no loitering outside this gate.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Who is it?
I'll get it. Yes.
Rick Diamond. Well, what are you doing in Hollywood?
Thought I'd come out and get a little Southern California fresh air.
Well, it's sure good to see you. Norma, you remember Rick Diamond, my old buddy from New York? Remember I had him protecting you from the natives the last time you were back?
Yes, I know. I sent for him.
You did? Well, you got here awful fast all the way from New York.
I came from Vegas, Mike. Was met at the plane by a fellow by the name of Logan. Said you'd sent him.
Well, I don't know anyone by that name. I did send a car for you, but the driver reported back that he'd missed you.
Well, we'll talk about the driver and why he didn't pick me up a little later. And now I'd like to know why I'm here.
Well, do you mind answering a question for me first?
Huh?
How'd you get in the studio? See, I'm in charge of the lot security patrol, and I gave orders to close the lot. I'd like to know if people are just walking on.
No, take it from me, the boys are on the job. But you still haven't told me why I'm here.
Samuel Horton was murdered. Norma found the body when she went over to have some coffee with him. Norma's his wife, you know.
Yeah, no, but it's almost 5 o'clock. Where are the police?
Well, the police haven't been called in yet.
You mean you've been sitting on this thing for 5 hours?
Well, not sitting, Rick, just following orders.
You could end up holding hands with the killer in the gas chamber. Who gave orders like that?
Chip Cooper.
You mean the hoodlum?
He owns the studio.
I thought it was the Sam Horton studio.
It is the Samuel Horton studio. But that's about the only thing that Horton still owns, the name. Chip Cooper bought him out.
Is that all right with you, Diamond?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
I heard that crack about hoodlum. You better wash your mouth out with soap and water.
Well, you get a little sensitive, Chip. Must be the Southern California air. Back in New York, they called you worse things than that.
That was New York. I was hungry, on a make. Now I made it. I didn't shoot my way into this studio. I bought out the stockholders.
Who'd you steal the money from?
Who sent for this guy?
Norma.
Now get out of here. All of you. Not one of you has even had the decency to offer his condolences. Maybe you're glad that Sam was killed. But you remember this. He was my husband, and I loved him. None of you'd be here if it weren't for Sam. He built this studio with his brains and his heart. But you wouldn't know about that. Now get out of here, all of you! Get out of here!
Some actress. I want the blood of that big scene. Now, wait a minute, you might be a little rough on her. After all, it's just possible she might have loved Horton. Are you kidding? That dialogue's out of about 3 old Sam Horton productions. 3 bombs. I'd have recognized it. It cost me enough. You mean you bankrolled Horton? He didn't have a dime. Every picture he made was big, expensive, and lousy. Well, why did you keep backing him? I wanted the studio. He had the stock. It was part of the gimmick. I agreed to put up the ready for 1 picture a year. Horton's murdered me with it. Yes, speaking of murder, what do you got to do with Sam's body? Put it in the deep freeze? Now, the police are going to find it sooner or later. And the later it gets, the more trouble you've got. You're a smart operator, Diamond. I'll make you a deal. Find me the murderer, and you can write your own check. I have a little trouble cashing that kind of check. Not this one. I'll sign it. Okay, Mike, for a start, why weren't the police called in right away?
His orders. Boss has got over $2 million tied up in the picture. There was even a shadow of suspicion that Norma had anything to do with killing her husband.
Well, is there?
Her marriage to Sam was a bust. We all knew that. He put her into one stinking picture after another, trying to ruin her career. Had all the community property plastered with liens and mortgages. He figured Norma would leave this town the same way she came to it. Now, you left the newspapers and the police got hold of that.
Well, how'd you know about all this?
She told me about it this afternoon.
What was all that stuff in the dressing room about how much she loved her husband?
Oh, the boss was right. Just acting. See that guy over there?
The guy in black?
Yeah, that's her leading man, Rod Layton. He can tell you what went on between Norm and Sam. He's been acting like a member of the family, if you know what I mean, ever since the first day's rehearsal.
You sure about all this, Mike?
I ought to be. I've been questioning her all afternoon. I'll get her some coffee.
Yeah, that'll make it. Somebody up there doesn't like me.
Come on!
I thought. That lamp didn't break away. Somebody picked it up and dropped it.
There's somebody moving over there.
Come on.
Stay where you are.
Johns! I might have known it was you.
Who is he?
One of the crew.
Don't come any closer, I'll shoot.
Don't be an idiot. Get down from there.
Why? So I can go to the gas chamber?
You didn't hurt anybody with that lamp. You were lucky.
I heard Sam Horton. I heard him good.
You shot Horton?
I told him I'd kill him for what he did to Norma and me. He didn't give her a fair shake.
Where'd you get that gun?
I told you not to come up here. I'll shoot.
Come on, let's go. Come on. I never saw a 32 do anything like that.
You know, it's more like a 45. Why did John say did it?
Protect Norma, I suppose. He knew I'd been questioning her all afternoon. Probably thought she put the slug in Horton.
Why? What was he to Norma?
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. I forgot to tell you. It must have slipped my mind. Johns was Norma's first husband.
You mean they were married?
Well, yeah, at the time, he was the #1 carpenter on the lot. Sam moved in on his wife. He objected and he got fired. Norma was just a bit player at the time, and Sam made a star out of her. She divorced John, and he started to hit the bottle.
Yeah, but why was he working here now?
He was a good carpenter. Sam had to dig him out of Skid Row, dry him up, and give him a job.
What was his angle?
Well, I don't think it was sweet charity. More likely, now that Sam was ready to dump Norma, he wanted somebody around to remind her that she was nutty when he picked her up.
Sounds like a charming fellow.
I wouldn't touch anything, Rick.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So far, nothing on the murder weapon, right?
Nothing but the hole in his head.
That's what's bugging your boss, Chip Cooper. Whoever shot Horton had to be standing right here. Which means the killer had to walk through that door with Horton's knowledge and approval. Had to be someone very close to him, someone he trusted, someone who could move around him. Someone like his wife. That's because he was shot through this window.
In broad daylight?
Well, why not, Mike? There's just a parking lot out there. The killer with a little bit of luck and a lot of poise could have pulled the job off. No one would have been the wiser. So all those people working on Horton's picture, the cowpokes and the Indians, who's going to notice another man with a gun? You saw a lot of people with artillery over there. Come on.
Maybe you got some, Rick.
Mr. Gower, Sahib, the natives are restless tonight.
Mike, how long do you intend to keep this entire company prisoner here on the stage?
When Mr. Cooper says you can leave?
Is that so? Will you give Mr. Cooper my regrets? Tell him Rod Layton has had it for one day.
Where are you going?
My dressing room. I get out of this makeup and wardrobe, then I'm going to get into my car, and I'm going to drive through the gate. And no one is going to stop me.
Rod, you're defying Big Brother.
Chip Cooper is no big brother to me. Who needs him?
Hey, you two.
Mr. Diamond's a private detective from New York. He had an idea about the gun that was used to kill Horton. Seems that you're in such a hurry, so we'll start with this one. It's been fired.
That is brilliant, really brilliant. Why don't you check our shooting schedule? I believe you'll discover that we had a big gunfight this morning. I've shot that about a dozen times or more.
So, Mr. Layton, either you're a very bad shot or you lose a lot of actors using live ammunition.
I was firing blanks. Ask the prop man. He was loading it for me.
Yeah? Call Mr. Cooper. Tell him we need him on the set right away.
Rod, what are they trying to do to you?
Framing me. Well, I get the picture now. Suddenly it's very clear why we've been kept here all these hours as convicts. It took time, didn't it, Mike? To plant that murder gun on me. I don't even know when it was done. But in 6 or 7 hours, I was bound to give you an opportunity.
Now you've heard everything.
Now, don't make me unpopular with your 20 million fans.
I didn't kill Horton.
I don't think you did either. But this is no way to smell like a rose. Now, you keep your mouth shut.
What's going on here? I said, what's going on? This was his gun. It's a .45 and it's been fired.
All right. Take him out to the front office and sit on him. I'll call the police. You'll never get away with us. All right, the rest of you people, go on home. Drop into my office in the morning, Diamond. We'll make out that check.
You think Rod killed your husband?
No, I know he didn't.
We better have a talk. I don't think so either. Come on. Let's take it from the top, Norma. All the details. What did Horton have on Chip Cooper? Norma, a man's life is riding on your answers. Now, I can't help him if you don't help me.
I'm sorry. How did you know?
Well, I know Chip Cooper by reputation anyway. He'd never let anyone freeload on him unless they had something on him.
It was a girl. Her name was Adele Barrett. Sam discovered her working in a department store in New York. He brought her out here and put her under contract. Beautiful job. That was about all. Then he introduced her to Chip. Paper had him as an item for a couple of weeks. Chip became bored and tried to brush her off. Adele became very difficult.
Adele Barrett. Seems like I remember reading about her in the paper. She was a starlet that drowned herself in your pool, wasn't she?
It wasn't quite the way the papers put it.
What do you mean?
Mr. Cooper helped Adele hold her little peroxide head under the water.
How do you know that?
Sam had a movie camera at the house with a telescopic lens. He photographed the whole thing from his study. That's how he got Chip to back his pictures. He made an excellent deal for himself. By blackmail.
The more I hear about your ex-husband, the happier I am I don't have to meet him.
Is that all you want to know?
Did anyone else know about this?
Not unless Sam told someone.
I see. Thanks, though. There's nothing quite as lonely and desolate as a motion picture lot at night. Everyone had gone home, including the mice. But there wasn't even a watchman around, just nothing. I was completely isolated and cut off from everything but the high walls and the barbed wire fences. I had a feeling that Chip Cooper and his goon squad were lurking somewhere in the shadows.
I warned you, Rick. My boys met you at the airport. You shouldn't be so hard to discourage.
It was Adele, wasn't it? I remember the torch you were carrying when she left New York.
You're too good at your job, Rick. I knew you'd remember sooner or later that you had to put things together, that you wouldn't settle for Leighton being the patsy, but that you'd be the only one to remember Adele Barr.
Well, I won't be the only one if I'm found dead here.
You won't be found dead here. You'll be in that incinerator.
Before you pull that trigger, maybe you better know something. You killed the wrong man.
I shot a rat. He brought Adele out here and broke her heart. He killed her just as sure as there's a bullet in his head.
No, he didn't, Mike. She didn't drown herself in Horton's pool. Chip Cooper held her head under. She was blackmailing him. That was the only way he knew to get rid of her.
How do you know that?
Norman told me. Horton photographed the whole thing from his house. That was the way he got Chip to keep his bankrupt studio running.
What's going on here? What's all the shooting?
Well, Mr. Chip Cooper. Mike here is trying to kill the memory of an old friend. Maybe you can give him a hand. Or do you need a private swimming pool?
You're a smart guy, Diamond. Too smart. Get rid of him, Mike.
I can't thank you enough for what you've done. I'll mail that check to you tomorrow.
Oh, that's all right. No, that isn't necessary.
But I want to. I said I'd pay you, and I will.
Well, $10,000 is an awful lot of money. You'll probably need it more now than I will. Besides, a day's work for a day's pay. $100 would be fine.
I think I can manage that.
Thank you. I guess things will be a little rough on you for a while.
Yeah.
You really love that guy, Horton?
Yes, I did. Look, after everything's settled, I'll try to make this up to you. How, I don't know.
Well, maybe you can get me into the movies, huh? How's profiles, huh?